Like, I think colorism started from when we were in primary school, because like I studied in an area where like most of us were dark, and it was just to find someone who's light. They were there, but not many. So you would find like for someone who's lighter, like, because when they are caned, or when they are caned,
when they're punished,
their skin will either turn red or stuff like that. Like, it will qualify as an excuse, so they will be given alternative.
Go sweep the floor.
Go sweep
Hi guys, so today we are here. Just finished shooting a video where we were talking about, racism and things like this. And one of the things that caught my attention is how here in Kenya, in our national flag, we already call ourselves black when we label the flags, And the fact that it's black means we have accepted in our identity that we are people of color. That's what necessarily it means. We are melanated, and unless mixed, that's the only way you'll find a Kenyan that is not melanated. And I still think they are melanated, but not as the same quantity as us. But that led me to a discussion we were having with my director today, and we were talking about colorism, and we thought that's a good discussion to have with you guys, and let's hear what you have to say, especially when it comes to colorism here in Kenya. Recently we watched a video about this TikToker who had gone out to hang out with a friend, and the friend was lighter, she had more following and stuff like this, and she apparently felt called out, or every scenario showed out that she is actually darker and she doesn't have the face of being a TikToker, which is a very sad story, because when you come to think about it, the things that we keep portraying, how we set the standard of what is acceptable or not acceptable, is based on what we watch, right? So when you continue watching and seeing who are the people on your screens and stuff like this, and they don't kind of look like you, let's say in terms of color, in terms of even your weight, in terms of your shape, in terms of your style, in terms of my hair, if all these things are not represented according to how I see, then it doesn't make sense. And can we even take a second to recognize how a whole industry has grown that is being called influencer marketing, where the business is for me to come and wear my suit, and as you see me in my suit, you'll be like, I think if I add suits in my collection, that would be really nice. Or you see my earrings and you're like, gold earrings, really, they shine on melanin skin, and then you'll be like, okay, I'm gonna purchase the earrings. But imagine if you never see anyone wearing a silver ring. You question your silver ring. You start questioning, is that even something that you should be doing, Like, I'm using the ring as an example, but it's the same scenario where, for example, you'll be seeing, you go enrolling for, let's say, an acting job, and the people that are selected are the people that have, different shade of your melanin than yours. And it's sad to say that actually colorism does exist here in Kenya a lot, or at least I have seen it in different scenarios. And with time, we've tried to see, a part that makes me sad is trying to use people that are more melanated as being like, let's try and put inclusion so that we have a representation of those category of people. Well, that is happening, and we can see a group of those that are representing that community. But my sad part is the fact that I would say life is unfair, and there are measures in life that even we cannot meet up to those standards. Well, in that thought and in that reflection, we had a story. She was telling me a story about her school back in the day. So, in our schools, if you don't know, here in Kenya, you get caned. I don't know if that still happens. Like, you get punished physically if maybe it's your punishment. So it didn't happen in my school per se, but it did happen in hers, and I'm gonna invite her. You'll hear her talking behind the screens, and she'll tell her this experience. So, Zelda, tell me, you were sharing a story about how people in school, take it away.
No, I was just like, I think colorism started from when we were in primary school, because like I studied in an area where like most of us were dark, and it was just to find someone who's light. They were there, but not many. So you would find, like, for someone who's lighter, like, because when they are caned, or when they are caned, their skin will either turn red or stuff like that. Like, it will qualify as an excuse, so they will be given alternative.
Go sweep the floor.
Go sweep such things.
Kids.
But now, as the black people, like, what will happen? The worst that can happen is maybe you get swollen for some time and then it just comes back to normal. And we experience colorism even in today's world. Like, you can just see, even when you walk into spaces, or maybe you're in a group of people who are a bit lighter, you can kind of get the attention. So it makes many children, when they're young, they feel like, maybe if I'm lighter, I would look better in one way or another. So I think that is also what has also influenced some people to go into things like bleaching, because of colorism.
That's true.
Here in Africa.
Okay, talking about bleaching, there's a street you walk around in town. I don't know, has it ever happened to you? And they'll be like, mafuta.
Yes. And I was telling you, I wrote an article, and every time I would pass by River Road. No, I was giving out my story. Every time I would pass by River Road, they will be like, mrembo mafuta, which like is like telling you, come and buy.
Come bleach yourself.
Buy the oil. Is it oil that
Bleaches.
You can use to bleach your skin?
Which is unfortunate. It is so unfortunate, but that is what we have sold to be like, you know what? Your skin is not dry. And come to think about it, now I'm very sad, because we've been talking about hair and how we've made our afro hair not to look beautiful by maybe the advertisement that we keep seeing, or maybe the people that speak to us, or the influence of colonization, whatever. But even us ourselves being like, I don't think black is cute. I don't think this shade is cute, or a shade darker than this is cute. I need to be a little bit lighter. And even worse, God, the filters did not come to help. The iPhone 2 did not come to help. Like, you take photos and you look like, ooh, I don't deal with all of those black situations going on. So what would you say authentically define the word black beauty according to your experience?
So, okay, at first I also use the word black beauty at times, but come to think of it, I think I've never had someone say light skin beauty. No, I've never had, like, light skin is light skin, but when it
special needs.
Yes, like I've never had someone say that. So for me, what I think, or maybe I'm an overthinker, I think for you to say the word black beauty, already you have a perspective of what beauty should look like. You see, so when something that is black comes in looking attractive, then you feel the need to add, yes, it's beautiful, but it's black. So I think that is the meaning of black beauty. Like, it's like people who are dark are already, people assume that they are supposed to look in a certain way. So when you come looking attractive than what they expect, then now you become a black beauty.
Well, it's sad that even some things that we say or some things that we do, we don't know how they could be affecting other people just based on our behavior. Like, instead of when you see someone, you're like, oh, black beauty, and now you leave them in the question of, does that mean beautiful, or does that mean different beautiful? Like, I'm not even, let me know in the comment section, what do you think the word black beauty means? Is it like, why do we have to have two separate explanations of what beauty is? Would you call someone that's light-skinned black beauty because they are still black, they still have the melanin, they're still African, Well, I feel the need for us to keep conversing more on even preaching about accepting ourselves. And unfortunately, if we continue with the same ways of life, we cannot expect different results. So if we continue with the same perspective, even, for example, if it's in school, I would love, for example, the teacher to be like, I'm gonna give all of you the same punishment, whether you're light-skinned or you're dark-skinned. And that will trend on even to opportunities. And people will not be given jobs just based on you're lighter-skinned or you're darker-skinned. And I don't know, it's such an influence colonial mind of way of thinking. I'm just thinking, for example, in school, that's very easy to solve. Just say nobody's being caned. We are all of you go sweep or go harvest something, and now all of you feel equal. You don't have to make other people feel bad, which is sad, because when I think about racism, it is seen like black people are strong in the perspective, like if you go to a hospital you don't feel pain compared to like a white person. And now you bringing back that kind of racist mentality or thinking into an African system is effed up. It's effed up. Systems need to change. How people think, how people perceive life need to keep changing, and we need to continue educating ourselves on these things. Yeah, you have something else to tell us?
We were also talking about how when you're dark, you have to meet also a certain criteria.
Okay, you cannot just be dark.
You just cannot be dark. And now you just can't be dark.
Yeah.
Tell us
Either be
about
dark
that.
and tall, like the South Sudanese, or be dark with a long neck, or be dark and slender, be dark and represent Wakanda vibes, like Lupita, kind of those things. You cannot just be dark with some weight, with your own style and stuff like this, which we need to keep questioning this and put everyone as equal, if that makes sense. Yeah, well, I'm sending love to everyone who has experienced colorism, and that puts me in a place of what happens to us who are in the middle. Like, I ain't light skin, I ain't dark. What is our position? But anyway, I'm being petty. If I start saying, oh, I didn't experience this, I should just appreciate that depending on the occasion or the event, I can land on either side. Otherwise, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I'm willing and listening to your comments down below, your contribution on this discussion on colorism and all these things to do with how we look and our appearance and just who we are. Okay? Until next time, hit the like button, subscribe. Bye for now.